podcast on the Podfix Network. You can check out more shows like it at podfixnetwork.com.
Hey guys, and welcome back to LootQuest, episode 8. Last week was kind of wild. Our gang of lovable anti-heroes went forth and purchased a small army's worth of gear to go and take out Meedo the Blue. They went and raided his compound and had a lot of fun with that. Before we actually get into the episode proper, let's go around and do some quick introductions. So first off, let's go with the walking tank himself, Vizzisk, a.k.a. Dave from the Super Movie Bros. What's going on tonight, Dave?
Hey, how's it going? Super happy to kill some things, maybe, and then go forward to kill more things. Yes. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do it in this voice the entire time. Oh, yeah.
All right, next up, let's go with Mr. Shadow Suit himself, Hamrick, a.k.a. John from the Now in Technicolor podcast. What's going on tonight, John?
Just ready to get into this, man. It's time to finally kick this infectious vaginal disease's ass.
We've been calling him the Sneaky Sniz.
This is the first I'm hearing of that.
Yeah, this is a new one.
Could be calling it all episode. Sneaky Sniz.
What's this wee shit? You got a mouse in your pocket?
And that charming voice, of course, is Caleb from Netflix and Swill playing 38 Double D.
Hell yeah, I'm ready to go do some more murders.
And also joining us tonight is our special guest, Nick from the Epic Film Guys podcast. He was actually on here last week, but you only heard him for about 4 seconds.
Sort of. Yeah, he was there.
He came on,
Yeah.
He recorded with us, and he sat in silence and just listened to us sort of ramble on about buying new equipment. What's going on tonight, Nick?
I died months ago. Some Jawas shot me with an ion blaster, and I went out like a bitch. Or not like a bitch. Wait, never
I
mind.
didn't shoot you with an ion blaster.
You're not a Jawa.
Jawa did.
You went out like a bitch.
It's great to be back. I fucking love you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, you may remember Nick in his very notable role as C3PR. Yeah, the most clever name of all time. He did a great job in that role. And
Hey, man, that was about as good as Georgie.
Touche. But all right, let's jump right into this adventure. So last time on the LootQuest podcast, our heroes went forth and purchased a small army's worth of armaments from a Toydarian named Pug. Before purchasing their upgrades, the group had taken another job to go out and collect the bounty that had been placed on Meedo the Blue's head from their new crime lord boss, Avun Kiso. This one last job will probably be enough to earn them a spot in his actual crime syndicate family. So once they got armed up, they went to raid Meedo the Blue's compound in Moshuda. Unfortunately, when they arrived, it was a little bit too late, as the compound had already been raided. After finding a Bith musician and a cowering Rodian, they were able to discover a secret entrance that Meedo had used to escape out to his Shatterskull Pass hideaway. They quickly jumped on their speeders to make chase and kill him.
We're going to kill the bad guy.
I love that ending line.
Kill him.
So vibrant.
I know.
So really keeps you in suspense.
I'm a wordsmith. We join our gang en route to the Shatterskull Pass outpost.
I got the metal to the pedal to the other metal.
Hey guys, why do you think they call it Shatterskull Pass? As a shot whizzes by my head.
Sorry, I'm getting used to this new blaster.
Sorry, that shot was a little premature.
Why don't I go ahead in my swoop bike and see what the hell's going on over the ridge?
We join our heroes en route to the outpost around Shatterskull Pass. You guys are approaching with Hamrick and 38 Double D in the land speeder, and Vizzisk out front on his brand new swoop bike, completely entrenched in his combat armor.
Well, hey, Double D, at least if something hits us, it's going to hit him first.
You guys cross over a large hill, and at the bottom of it, you see a relatively modest but still fairly sprawling compound surrounded by a large electrified fence with several Rodians wandering around, looking very tense. So you guys approach the outpost to the north. There are now actually 2 Rodian guards patrolling the outside edge near the large gate in the front of the outpost on the eastern side.
Literally never the first one to react. Kind of waiting on Double D here. Like, what the... Shoot shit? Yeah, I'm down for that. You want to try your diplomacy bullshit? Never worked before, but sure, why not now?
You... Listen, Mr. Smart Rockets, why don't you blow a hole in the fence and I'll just drive our asses right in there?
Fair enough, smart rocket up. Let's blow a hole in the fence.
I guess this time we're taking the lizard's diplomacy act of it, of just blowing shit up.
Never failed me in the past. That's why I'm the richest motherfucker out of you two, and that's why I got a great kill count.
Pretty sure mine's better.
True, but I ain't got fancy fingers. Not yet. I'm going to eat them.
All right, so Vizzisk speeds ahead on his swoop bike, and 2 panels open up on the front, and little rockets poke out and fire towards the fence and blow a gigantic hole right in the front of it. As soon as this happens, a really loud alarm starts going off. There's some flashing lights up in the corners of the fence. Sirens going off, and the entire outpost is now on alert. The Rodians that were patrolling the outside come rushing towards the hole and start firing in your guys' directions, but nothing is on target.
I want to try to level 1 with the speeder.
Do a pilot check.
That's a 6. Yeah, I'm gonna lucky that. That's a 21. That's a critical.
You nat 20'd that. That I would say is the definition of lucky. Not only do you go and you completely wipe out the first one, you're able to also spin the speeder around.
Do I do a power slide?
Yeah, you do like a complete 180 like power slide move with the speeder and whip the tail end around and hit the other one and completely decapitate him.
I fucking love this job.
And then after you got done with that, you're able to drive the speeder straight forward through the hole that Vizzisk had made in the fence. Once you're inside, you see that there are 2 Rodians sort of crouched behind some obstacles. They kind of look like water evaporators or some sort of hydration system. And then there's a third one hiding behind what appear to be just like garbage cans. Vizzisk, after you blew the hole in the fence, you see 38 Double D come whipping past you, wipes out the 2 Rodians on the outside, turns around and drives into the compound.
The glory's all mine, Double D. Why don't you fall back and let the soldiers take the point?
After 38 Double D goes flying into the hole that you had created, you did a quick turnaround and you drove the swoop bike in right behind, fired off 1 homing shot, and you hit the Rodian who's crouching behind the trash cans, and he blows up.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking obliterated him.
Once you guys are sort of in the compound and you're setting up your defensive positions, you see a large figure in power armor come running out of a southern building, and he starts shouting at you.
If it isn't Kiso's little bastards.
Everyone go ahead and do an initiative roll.
Yay.
14.
Suck
and
it.
Nick just rolled a nat 20. So Vizzisk got an 8. Meedo steps out and insults you all, and then...
I knew it wouldn't take Kiso's little bitches long to find me.
I'm gonna take your pompous ass and shove it right up your prostate.
Fancy armor, lizard boy.
How would you... okay.
Just go with it.
I had a sex bot like you once. I ripped her in half.
Roy splitting wood. I'd give you a high five, but we gotta fight.
I'm going to fire my rockets at Vizzisk.
Vizzisk, right now it seems like a great idea that you got that armor.
Meedo fires a rocket out of his combat armor, and the rocket starts to head towards Vizzisk, but it looks like there's a malfunction in it, and it actually flies over his head and hits one of the Rodians hiding in cover behind Vizzisk.
Worthless shit power armor. I should have known that son of a bitch that told me this was no good.
Look out, he has idiot-seeking missiles.
Looks like he's having some rocket malfunction.
If they were idiot seeking, they would have hit their target, but they missed. It's just cheap.
Crusher and Low Blow, I need you here.
Meedo calls out for his 2 bodyguards, and you see two Gamorreans in relatively durable-looking combat armor, but not the powered variety, just heavily armored, come rushing out of the building that he was in and take a stance right in front of him.
These are those bitches that sold us the droids. Let's slice them in half.
38 double D, it's your go.
So, Crusher and Low Blow and Meedo are all fairly close together, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So a panel pops open on my arm, but it's not my right arm where my holdout blaster is. It's on my left arm, and a small aperture pops out of it with a little pilot light on it. And I blast him with a gout of my flamethrower, and the 3 of them are going to have to make a reflex save.
Okay. Yeah, so that's another nat 20 by Meedo for the listeners.
Damage reduction.
Yep. So both of the Gamorreans are basically flat-footed. They don't know what's going on, and they take a full blast of the flamethrower. There's also one more Karstag thug that's hiding behind them, right over near them.
Nice shot, Double D. Those piggies took a hot facial.
And he also fails. So the Gamorreans are able to stay standing, but the Karstag thug who's hiding behind the barrel is completely immolated and falls over, screaming and dying and burning to death.
Hey Viz, pork rinds.
It'll be delicious later.
It smells like bacon dipped in bantha shit.
All right, so next up, the Gamorrean on the right is going to sort of brush himself off and charge towards Vizzisk in his power armor.
Jesus Christ.
Get him, Crusher.
What do you want, piggy boy?
And he has a vibro axe, and he's going to swing it at you.
My God, your eyes are filled with purpose. Let's see what you got.
So that is a 20. So that hits, but because of your power armor, all it really does is just sort of like leave a dent in your arm, and it leaves like a nice big scratch. You kind of feel like your elbow go numb, like you hit your funny bone, and take 4 points of damage.
You scratched my armor. You're gonna pay for that.
All right, and Hamrick, you're up next.
I'm gonna set up a frag grenade to hit him and all the and everybody in front of him.
Do a demolitions check for me. Yeah, it's a perfectly placed throw. It just sort of plops down right in the middle of the 3 of them. So go ahead and roll the damage.
There's no way.
You rolled 4 1s. You rolled 4 1s.
Yep, that would be what that is, I guess. Yep. That was a terrible roll.
That's statistically improbable.
Yep, because the next time I rolled it was 17.
That's as unlikely as the Empire being destroyed by Ewoks.
Man.
It was like,
Okay.
you got a 2.
It appears that the Toydarian who you purchased these weapons from was slightly more nefarious than he initially seemed, because the grenade doesn't really go off with much authority. It just sort of pops and sprays like the shrapnel of the grenade towards them. It doesn't really do that much damage. In fact, Meedo's armor isn't even scratched by it, and the Gamorrean in the front, it just sort of is able to dodge it. The one who didn't really move takes a fair amount of damage, but it's mostly just like a flesh wound. He doesn't really seem affected by it.
Well, for the love of Christ, I guess you always get a dud in every one of these packs.
You'll have to do better than that, you piece of garbage.
This guy's happy with himself.
He really does enjoy a good game of pocket pool.
I'm gonna make him quiet real soon.
All right, it's on you, Vizzisk.
So I'm punching the dude in front of me.
Holy cow. I'd say you punch him.
That's a 32. You slug him right in the jaw, and it draws a fair amount of blood.
And I'm aiming my homing shot at the Gamorrean that's directly to Meedo's left.
So that is a 13. The homing shot, it's like you're too close or something. It doesn't have enough time to actually home in on him, and just sort of flies over his shoulder and hits a nearby building and explodes and shoots dust and shrapnel everywhere.
That's what I get for using technology for what a scatter shot should have done.
So the guy that you had just shot the homing shot at, the Gamorrean, he charges forward, and he actually runs right past Vizzisk and takes a big swipe at 38 Double D. That's 24.
That hits.
So he bashes you with his large club right in your breastplate. All right, so two Rodians come rushing out of the southern building, and they both take quick shots at Vizzisk standing right in the front. See a 24 and an 18. The first shot hits you, but again, it just sort of dings off your armor and leaves like a nice burn spot on it. You kind of feel it like tingle your skin a little bit and take 1 point of damage.
You insectoid ingrate! How dare you shoot at me?
The second shot just whizzes over your head, but just barely. It's very close.
You pint-sized fucks are gonna get a whole lot of comeuppance real soon.
And with that, it is back on Meedo.
Hey, sex slut, get ready for the red rocket.
I'm going to fire my rockets
No.
at 38 Double D.
Even I think that was too crass.
That is a 22 with 27 damage.
No. Double D explodes.
My my deflector shield would work on that, right? Because it's ranged.
Makes sense. So yeah, your deflector shield would work for this.
Okay, so I take 21.
And you know what? Hamrick, go ahead and do a reflex save for me, please.
Hey, jiggly bitch, your upgrades are the only thing keeping you alive right now.
You're able to quickly like duck out of the way, and you're hit with like some sparks, but take no damage. Meanwhile, the Gamorrean behind you is also able to duck away and avoid any extra damage. And with that, it's back on 38 Double D.
All right, so you remember how earlier I said that I bought thermal detonators for everybody?
Yes.
I think it's time for me to use mine. Now I'm just going to chuck it at Meedo's feet. I guess I just chuck it over there.
Yeah, just like a demolitions check.
This is 23, nat 20.
You managed to time the timer on your thermal detonator to the point to where he has absolutely no time to actually react and get out of the way, and it just lands right at his feet as it explodes.
That's what I like to hear.
Go ahead and roll the damage.
27. Take your fucking 27 damage back.
So, yeah, the thermal detonator lands at Meedo's feet and blows up, and it actually severely damages the leg portion of his power armor to where they're not really functioning anymore, and he has a hard time kind of moving around and takes a massive amount of damage. He actually takes 21 damage.
Little slutbot.
Easy with that name calling, you sumbitch.
Crusher, no, get back here.
An exchange of hot loads. This has gotten out of hand.
Hammerk, don't be gross.
The first Gamorrean that had rushed towards Vizzisk runs away quickly and actually picks up Meedo and starts to carry him back behind the building that they came out from.
Guy must be strong as shit.
Well, yeah, he's a pig monster. All right, and with that, it's on you, Hamrick.
Hell, I guess I'm going to move forward and try to see if I can hit the dude with a damn force pike.
You won't be able to get close enough to do a melee attack.
Okay, so then I'll just move forward and do the blaster then.
Yeah, go for it.
There we go.
29. Yeah, that absolutely hits. You drill the pig right in the back, and he sort of stumbles forward and drops Meedo, who falls face first into the dirt.
Oh!
Turn right now, it's the Gamorrean who is in the back, and he completely ignores you guys and actually sort of like bumps up against Vizzisk and Hamrick as he goes rushing past you guys.
Is he leaving engagement with me? Do I get an opportunity attack?
Yeah, you can absolutely try to shoot him in the back.
Shoot him with my DL-44. It's a 23 versus his AC.
Yeah, you blast him right in the back.
Yeah, and that's 14 damage.
Yeah, for 14 damage. He somehow completely shrugs it off. He has like single-minded focus. There's a big smoking hole in his shoulder, and there's like blood pouring out of it, but he keeps on going.
Good lord.
Vizzisk.
Yeah, man, I got those awesome jetpacks in my feet, like repulsor lifts. So I'm going to fly right over to where Meedo is laying down, and I'm going to land right in front of him, and I'm going to pull out my slug thrower since he's prone and on his back.
So yeah, you fly over and you land in front of Meedo.
All right, so I threw my scatter shot right at him.
Okay, you take out your scatter shot, you fire away. 25 definitely hits, and because he's prone, it's going to be an automatic critical hit. So you hit him for 14.
Yeah, let's throw that flamethrower right at him while I'm standing there too.
Yeah, so Meedo obviously can't make a reflex save. So the pig goes to do a reflex save and critically fails.
Oh, jeez.
Go ahead and roll your flamethrower damage there, Vizzisk. So yeah, you torch the power armor that Meedo's in, and it appears to start like short-circuiting, and it doesn't appear to have any sort of power source at all, so it looks like it's going to be completely non-functional, and he's just sort of stuck in it. The Gamorrean, meanwhile, he lights on fire and starts like squealing, sort of like runs around and starts bashing his head against the wall that he's next to while he's on fire, and he falls over and passes out.
Hey Meedo, one of your piggies just fell down. Why don't you get off your back and make it a fair fight? For I have my fancy-fingered friend back there turn you into lightning lunch for me.
Worthless Trandoshan bastard, you're uglier than a Gungan's asshole.
While this is going on, two more of the Rodians come around the corner and take pot shots at Vizzisk while he's standing over Meedo, and both of them wildly miss. The other two that were standing in front of the building take shots at Hamrick. That's a 21 and a 25.
My AC is a 27.
God damn. So yeah, while they're both clearly very good aim, they manage to just barely miss Hamrick due to how difficult he is to see in his shadow suit.
You worthless bastards.
Fix those bug eyes, you little bitches.
You can't hit what you can't see.
With that, it is Meedo's turn.
He is going to hit the eject, and he's going to go, over to his left and try to get over to where those other two Rodians are over to his left.
Yeah, so the ejection system goes off, and because of how agile Rodians are by their very nature, he's able to easily land on his feet and cower behind one of his minions off to his left.
Now go, you fuckers! Destroy them! Destroy them all!
All right. So you could run away into a building or
No, he's
shoot.
totally going to move. He's going to run into the outpost center there above him.
So Meedo lets out an insult and then runs into the building directly to his north.
Fist yourselves!
So 38 double D.
I'm gonna try to mop up these little Rodians that are outside. I'm gonna click my fancy new DL44 heavy blaster over to multi-fire and take a shot at either one of them. Oh my god. And yeah, it's gonna be 4 versus AC on both shots.
Yeah, so you flip it over to auto fire, and apparently you weren't quite ready for the recoil, and you kind of just shoot like both shots almost directly up in the air. They don't even hit the side of the building.
I swear this never happens. Things got a hair trigger. And then I'm gonna, I guess, just move behind the speeder and crouch to take like partial cover behind it.
Sure. We'll say like +2 to your AC.
Yeah.
So next up is Hamrick, because the Gamorrean who was before you is dead now.
I'm going to rush inside the building, and I'm going to try to stab that bastard as he's running in.
Or just force lightning the fuck out of the whole room.
Yeah, go ahead and make your call there, Hamrick.
I think I'm going to go with the force lightning on that one.
I talked him into it.
He talked me into it.
Go for it.
Well, I hit.
So Hamrick, you go rushing in to the building to your left through the small alcove entrance, and once you get in, you are surprised to see 3 other Rodians scattered throughout the room. But there's Meedo cowering behind a desk, who immediately sees you.
Oh, what's this little pussy willow want?
All right, we're done with this, and now it's time for everybody to fry.
Hamrick, you let loose, and you go to gather strength for your force lightning, and you just feel like your connection to the force isn't as strong as it's been in the previous few days. Perhaps you've been drawing on the dark side too much. You let out an arc of energy, and it does sort of skip across the room, and it hits all 4 of them, but it doesn't have a lot of force behind it, and they just seem kind of shocked rather than completely electrified.
Mild shock.
Yeah.
Each of them takes a total of 5 damage.
You'll have to do better than that.
I'm just getting started.
All right, so next up is the Gamorrean, who realizes that Meedo had ran into the building, and he actually turns around and follows in behind Hamrick, sees him in the doorway, and takes a swing at him. And he's so big that trying to swing in the doorway, he actually catches on the wall and just like bangs on it and puts a big hole in the wall next to the door frame.
You worthless pig bastard. Your mother should have turned you into pork chops.
And next up is Vizzisk.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter. I got rocket packs, so I'm just gonna fly over those Rodians.
You easily fire off your repulsor jets, and you fly over the Rodian's head, and they sort of like crane their necks looking at you as you soar over them, and you bust in through the door.
They don't just crang their necks. It is 100% a Michael Bay moment where the camera is like kind of encircling them as I jump
there's
over
a lens
them.
flare.
Yeah, and then there's a lens flare, and then it follows me through there, all in one take. There's also an explosion somewhere.
just off.
He
just
jumps
off in the
over them
distance.
and uses the bottoms of the rocket boots to like fucking burn the faces off the damn Rodians.
You know what? That's a pretty good pilot check. I'll allow it. You singe their eyeballs, and they squeal in pain. And you bust in through the door, and Meedo is standing right in front of you.
Meedo, you blue boobied bastard. Meet my scatter shot.
Meedo, you have just enough time to turn around and get one final word.
You ugly lizard motherfucker. Your motherfucked a Wookiee. Your motherfucker.
And my scatter shot just fucked you.
You leveled the scatter shot, you fired away, and the head on Meedo's shoulders completely disintegrates. The minions behind him are covered with a fine goo of brains and viscera as Meedo's body slumps to the floor.
Anybody else got some? You want to come at me? Let's go. I still got another shot in the chamber.
The guy who is standing directly behind Meedo, like, kind of gives you a shifty look.
Let's use flamethrower.
Holy shit.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so
I raise a wrist at him.
You raise your wrist after asking if there were any other takers. None of them really seemed to step forward, but you didn't really need another reason, and a big stream of fire sprays out of it, completely incinerating the entire room. A narrowly missing Hamrick over in the corner, who you didn't even really see.
That's right. I didn't even like the way he looked at me. So any of you fuckers take one step forward, I swear you're gonna be turned into mush like your Meedo friend over here, or cooked bacon like all the other fuckers out there. I'll eat every last one of you. What are you gonna do?
The third Rodian, who is in the back corner of the room, quickly sprints out a near exit. The alarm's still going off in the distance, and over on the right-hand side of the room, you see Hamrick standing in the doorway with a Gamorrean behind him. 38 Double D, it's your move next. Last saw the Gamorrean come charging in behind Hamrick. You heard a loud boom coming from the room, and it's one that you recognize as a scatter shot.
All right, man, that Gamorrean's got to be getting close. I want to try to finish him off. Yeah, I'll kind of run up behind him and shoot him in the back of the head with my DL-44. It's a 19 versus AC.
Yeah, that's exactly what you do. You go in behind him, and while he's brandishing his vibro axe at Hamrick, you level your DL-44 against the back of his head and fire away. The Gamorrean slumps over dead on the ground, and it's around this time that you see Vizzisk sort of standing and laughing over the burning corpses of two Rodian and the headless burning corpse of Meedo the Blue.
Pack up the pork.
Terrifying.
I'm hungry.
Vizzisk, you're really getting the hang of that suit.
You know, it kind of feels like an extension of me. I'm really digging it.
Good choice.
All right, and around this time, you notice that there's a lot of commotion going on in the outpost, and it seems that several of the Rodians are prepared to bring the fight to you, and they're starting to close in on you.
Viz, grab Meedo's body, throw it on the speeder.
Hey, come on, let's get out of here.
But the rest of these Rodians want to play, and I'm still kind of hungry. And I can't eat Meedo because we got to use him for the delivery. So why don't I take on a few of these pesky bastards while you two load Meedo up?
Damn it, Vizzisk. We don't have any time for this. We need to just grab him, go, and get the hell out of here. There's no need for you to be blowing up anything else.
Fine.
We better run.
Fine, I'll grab the blue bastard and throw him on the back of my swoop bike. You two get into your speeder. Let's make a hasty getaway.
I'm already moving to jump in my fucking getaway car.
Saw Vizzisk pick up Meedo and then follow Double D.
On the way out, I'm gonna Biggie Smalls drive by a couple Rodians.
You manage to get in your speeder, and you start to make the getaway. The guns pop up on the front, and you start shooting at the Rodians who are closing in around you, and you bust out through the hole that you came in at. Vizzisk closely behind, and then quickly overtaking you with Meedo's headless body sort of flapping along in the wind. All right, and you know what? That, my friends, I think is a perfect place to stop.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Another day,
it's good.
another murder.
Hooray!
All right, that was a great episode, guys. I want to throw a special shout out and thank you to Nick Haskins from the Epic Film Guys podcast. Thank you so much, Nick, for coming on and providing some voice work again. We always love having you. You put so much you put so much character into your characters.
I love you guys. It's always a blast. I'll come back anytime and do literally anything. I don't care. Such a great time.
Awesome. Glad to have you. As always, thanks for tuning in. If you feel so inclined, please stop by our iTunes and leave us a rate and review if you like what we do. You can always find more about LootQuest at lootquest.podbean.com or podfixnetwork.com. We're also now on Patreon, and you can check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/lootquest. And make sure you stop and check out my awesome player character shows here. You can find all of their shows and information about them at podfixnetwork.com. So until next week, I am Shampoo, and this has been LootQuest.
Goodbye forever, Meedo.
Cruising on Cespa in my DeLorean. War's over, I'm a piece of Mandalorian. Story is some Star Wars historian. Stephen debate, but they play at Bennigan's. Rhyme renegade, sure to penetrate first and second offense. I won't hesitate. Got a job to do with Darth, the guy with delegates. Got something against Skywalker, someone he really hates. I don't give a fuck. I'm after Solo, for all I carry. Could be behind at Yoda's dojo. Gotta make the money, credit's no good when the Jawas run a shop in your neighborhood. Think you can cook? I got a grappling hook. Let's make this quick, cause I'm really booked. I'm a devious degenerate defender of the devil, shoving all the trash compactors on the detention level. My backpacks got jets, well I'm boba, all that fat. Well I bounty hunt for Java Hut to finance my vet. Well I chill in deep space, a mask is over my face. Well I deliver the prize, but I still narrow my eyes, cause my time I don't like two ways. Get down! I'm a question, rep inside Enigma. Get inside a slave one, find your home and signal. From Endor to Hoth, Ripley to Spock. I'll find what you want, but there's gonna be a cost. Say my name is Boba Fett, I know my shit is tight. Start acting right, yo, frozen carbonite. Got telescopic sight, flamethrowers on my wrist. You still don't get the gist, Spike boots to make the kick. Targets to make the hit. You think I give a shit? Your mama is a bitch. I see you in the Sarlacc pit. You just flip my switch, integrity's been ditched. You scratching on my itch. You know I shoot the gift. I got Fabinas and Catinas way to lick my lusty lips. So I'll let you get back inside your little spaceship. Give you a head start, cause I'm a sporting con. Consider the starting line and sneaky smile hide inside. Hope you have hyperdrive. Pay to stay alive. Don't try to slip me five, cause I never take a bribe. To the beat of a different drama. Bad funny hard, I let no man put us under or else be put under as in 6 feet. Got an imperial fleet backing me up. Gonna blow up any attempt to defeat. They got a dead stock. Got full payments on my car. Handed over to Hammerhead. At most I see bar. Used to carjack him. He's a bar back. Just go to show how you can get back on the right track. Guess for me that's not an option. Can't say that with more clarity. Me going legit would be like Jar Jar with speech therapy. My backpacks got jets. Well I'm Boba. Well that fat. Well I bounty hunt for Java Hut to finance my vet. Well I chill in deep space. A mask is over my face. Well I deliver the prize, but I still narrow my eyes, cause my time I don't like two ways. Get down! Slice it open like a tom-tom, faster than the Autobahn or a motorbike can try. Do the deed, I'm living gone. Jabba has a hit fit, contact Corinthian. Overcoat the plan on photopolitic, it's legit. Back in the day when I was a slave, living life in a fast